Oh, and look, it's the French explorer, Thomas Aubert. However, unlike our explorer, the French explorer is stuck in the terrain of the map. Oh god, this game. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the brand new Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. Now, it's been a while since I've played Age of Empires 3, but guess what? They've released a brand new game. Just like Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, this is a classical RTS game which everyone knows and loves, but with brand new modern graphics which look exceedingly overbloomed, and apparently fixes to the game as well as some new additions. But naturally, they've added 2 new AI factions. These 2 new AI factions are ridiculously overpowered in comparison to the current balance because they've nerfed everything which was crazy about the last version of the game, meaning that these 2 new factions are pretty damn stupid. Naturally, we're not going to be playing these 2 new factions because instead we're going to be having fun and breaking this game in a very stupid way. Because after all, what's the most overpowered thing in this game other than destroying the AI? Yep, that's right, the AI in this game is completely and utterly stupid. This is a game released in 2020, I'd like to remind you, and the AI simply does not function. Now, Spiff, come on, what do you mean the AI doesn't function? Well, you see, in a lot of games, and RTS games in particular, developers like to make the AI cheat so that they have an actual decent chance against the player. In this game, however, something's gone wrong. Something's gone really, really wrong, because on certain maps, the AI physically can't even do anything. They just sit in the corner crying whilst the player amasses a vast quantity of wealth and then eventually goes up to them and seal clubs them to death. And that's exactly what we're going to be showing off today. And what better way to demonstrate seal clubbing than with an age-old rivalry? That's right, with a lovely British playing out of London, and we're going to be playing against a random personality. Nope, it's the French. Long-time rivals led by Napoleon. We're going to panel beat them into the ground so hard, they're never going to play Age of Empires 3 again. Now, we're playing on the Ceylon map, but literally any map which has a large quantity of water works here, but Ceylon is definitely the most broken map to play against the AI with. Now, we're going to be playing on the medium difficulty because that's generally how games are meant to be balanced around, and it's just going to be us versus Napoleon. That's it, that's generally all there is in this game. We don't need to make it any more complicated, just myself and Napoleon about to have a really fun 1v1 to settle the age-old dispute of whether tea is superior to baguette. I mean, logically, I don't really know why there's much comparison to be made considering both are absolutely lovely, but apparently it needs to be settled nonetheless on the field of battle. So without further ado, let's throw ourselves into the game, ladies and gentlemen. As always, make sure you sat back, relaxed, you have a nice warm cup of tea in hand, and if you have a baguette near you or anyone who is in any way sympathetic to the French, then make sure that they leave the room for the next 30 minutes. Otherwise, they might be offended by the cyberbullying that they're about to see. Anyway, let's throw ourselves into the game. If you're feeling especially fantastic, my goodness, you can even give this video a like. Now, naturally, the developers of this game were very smart, you see, because they decided to not give me an early access copy of the game. Very good developers, very intelligent. I like the strategy they employed there. There was just one slight issue. It didn't stop me. That's right, I've still found a way to completely and utterly destroy this game in a very unfair way. Right, fantastic. We've got our first dock up and running, which means we're going to hire ourselves a couple of fishing boats just to send on out into the wider world and generate some resources for us. Meanwhile, we want as many little settlers as we can, split gathering wood or getting berries from bushes. Now, we have this tiny little catamaran here, and we're going to be using this catamaran to actually move our explorer onto the main island, which is quite easy considering the main island is literally just right here. Right, there we go. Let's get rid of the explorer. Perfect stuff. Now, our island is just absolutely surrounded by fish, but I'm not actually looking for fish at the moment. I'm looking for something different. I'm looking for whales, and I don't mean the kind that sticks off the side of England. I mean the money-making kind. Now, of course, Age of Empires 3, unlike previous Age of Empires games, is in fact a deck-building game. No, it doesn't make much sense, but it's a deck-building game, and I have built myself a naval deck, which is perfect for any sea-based map. Naturally, on my naval deck, we're going to be picking up the whale oil bonus. This means our lovely fishing boats gather 35% faster from whales. What are whales? Well, whales are an infinite source of gold. If you can get yourself a fishing boat plonked down on top of them, you're gonna be in the money. And there we go. Oh wait, hang on a second, there's a rival fishing boat. It's a French catamaran, ladies and gentlemen. Right, naturally we're gonna try and chase this down with our own catamaran. For some reason they sailed in range of our town center, so that's the entire French naval fleet just sunk right there. Okay, he's gone down into the ocean. Rest in peace, French Navy. Oh, what's this? We found a Japanese Zen Temple on the island of Ceylon. Probably historically accurate. And actually, we're going to do as all colonizing powers would do and just slap down a massive European trading post on this beautiful bit of Mother Nature. Anyway, now that we have our lovely whaling technology sorted, we're able to slap down our fishing boat on a whale, and guess what? It's making 0.68 gold per second. Now that's fantastic. But of course, as you can probably guess, that's not enough. We're going to need more. So we're going to be building 4 fishing boats and slamming them all onto this one little whale. Oh, and now that we have this trading post set up, we're going to be generating some gold from it as well. We can also naturally steal their society's fantastical bonuses, making all of our units stronger. And honestly, we don't need to do that just yet. Instead, let's go tiger hunting, because why not? There we go. Ah, look, it's Sir Spiff, the legendary explorer. Well, bam, he just murdered a very rare and endangered species. I hope you feel happy with yourself. I know David Attenborough's not happy. Right, now I'm going to be researching gill nets. This is going to increase the coin we're generating from whales, which is lovely stuff. Food production on the island's going quite well as well, although we might as well move all of our food production over to actually fishing instead. Now, technically speaking, Napoleon has a higher score than I do, meaning he's actually beating me in the game. However, he's not, because you see, Napoleon is an AI. You see, the French AI can only get so far before they are completely and utterly destroyed. Oh, and look, we found a Bhakti temple here. Lovely. These are our lands, but we will permit you to build a trading post here to forge an alliance between our peoples. Ah, yes, that's always how it started in history. One little trading post, and then suddenly your entire culture is destroyed. Ah, colonization. My God. What a mess. How did those things get into a museum? Anyway, we're going to be advancing to the commerce age now. It's actually going to allow us to gain a lovely little bonus, because we can pick between these lovely guys to actually level up too. We're going to actually pick up the philosopher prince. He's going to give us some crates of food, and that's going to allow us to research into the next era faster, which is always great news. And actually, you know what, we should probably build ourselves a house, because we need more population cap. Oh, and after the upgrade with the fishing nets, our lovely boats are making 0.75 gold per second. That is just lovely stuff indeed. Oh, and also, guess what? We're able to teach our peasants a culture of vegetarianism, meaning villagers gather from berry bushes 40% faster. Currently, they're picking up 0.67 food, but now they pick up 0.94 food per second. That's perfect stuff. Yep, we've got the berry boys up and running. Now, we might as well also build ourselves a market, because we're going to need a few economic upgrades. And I'll tell you what, we could probably also get a few more fishing boats set up. Why not? Now, Napoleon has also made it to the second era, but honestly, it's fine. Napoleon won't be posing an issue for us, because we've also just made it to the second era. And what we're going to do in the second era is pick up the lovely caravel bonus. You know, we might as well also pick up the improved warships bonus, and we can pick up offshore support as well, but that's a bit later on. Now, you see, we've picked up this caravel bonus, and it's a card, and basically after a small set of time, we will have a caravel just randomly appear. Now, caravels are great because, like fishing boats, you can use them to gather resources, but more importantly, we're going to be able to use them to get a nice group of peasant settlers over to the mainland here and get them harvesting all of the mainland's resources. And there we go. With that bonus, we have 2 more caravels. As you can see, we can just set one immediately to gold production, and we're bam, 0.75 gold per second. This one here instead is going to actually take a nice portion of our berry bush farmers. It's going to send them over to this lovely untamed land to naturally harvest all of its rare resources until there is nothing left. Why do we need these resources? Well, it's just so that we can fight the French. Speaking of which, they've got a scout on this land. Right, we're going to naturally be hunting down that scout, because we can't possibly let the French get onto the mainland. That would be the worst thing that could possibly ever happen. Right, and there we go. Now that we have all of these lovely villagers that have just landed on this fantastic new world territory, we'll set another caravel to fishing, and all of these lovely guys, we can just have them build a little manor house so we can get more peasants made, and then set the vast majority of them to cutting down every single tree we find. Oh, and look, it's the French explorer, Thomas Aubert. However, unlike our explorer, the French explorer is stuck in the terrain of the map. Oh god, this game. Alright, we're going to send our lovely settlers over here out to start harvesting up these berry bushes. Anyway, we're going to pick up the next bonus for long fishing lines. We'll also train up a few more fishing boats, because the more the merrier, really. So we can just send them off to harvest every single bit of fish in this ocean. And oh my goodness, this poor little French explorer. That's what you get for fighting Sir Spiff. Do you have any idea how many endangered species this man has finished off? Okay, you stand no chance, my friend. And come on, there we go. He's got 2 health. Wabam. There we go. Perfect stuff. Ooh, what's this? It's a French fishing boat. Right, naturally, our caravel's going to broadside that. Wabam, there you go. That'll teach your fishing boat for sailing in waters that you should not have access to. And actually using this caravel, what we're going to do is sail on over to the French island and just destroy whatever random bit of civilization they actually have. French island is somewhere around here. Oh, there we go, fantastic. There's one of their mills, I see. One fun thing we can do is we can attack random French peasant farmers, and it's not considered a war crime because this is an active combat zone, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Now the French are technically fighting back, but luckily what we're going to do is we're going to start attacking any random French boats we see in the sea. The reason we're doing this is because the more French boats we knock out, the less French boats we'll be seeing, because our starting islands have a limited supply of resources. How limited? Well, they're ridiculously limited because we don't have that many trees. What happens when all your trees are gone? Well, suddenly you've got no more wood. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've just spoken to Her Majesty the Queen herself, and apparently we've got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Apparently, after the lovely exploits of the Spiffing Brit in the new world of Ceylon, the supply of whale blubber is now at an all-time high, meaning for the first 7,000 people to like this video, you will receive an entire ton of whale blubber. It will be airdropped onto your house via artillery mortar, so make sure to be ready to enjoy your brand new world commodity. Oh my goodness, what even is this game? If you've actually played this game, give me a shout in the comment section, by the way, because I'd actually love to hear if anyone who's actually played any Age of Empires games have decided to buy this game, because honestly I think I'd rather prefer Age of Empires 2. Right, now we're going to take ourselves up to the 3rd age, because why not? And naturally we can pick ourselves up another free caravel that's going to be dropped off. Oh, speaking of which, is that the French one? Yep, that's the French one. Don't really have to do anything to fight it. Our caravels are vastly superior, and there's no real benefit for us actually attacking them. Oh my goodness, what's this? A whole bunch of French archers have arrived. Oh my goodness, the French are actually planning on doing something this game. Now this is exciting, so we're going to need to build ourselves a bit of technology to defend us, and by that I mean an outpost. Oh wait, could I just train units here? I suppose that would work too. Now we're getting attacked by a whole bunch of French crossbowmen, but it's not really going to pose much of a threat to any of our plans, because the French have very limited resources. They're going to basically sit on their island until they can get a strong foothold in the center, and because they're going to just be dwindling out on supplies of wood, they're never going to actually be able to get onto the mainland, which means they can never win. Anyway, let's send in our lovely random assistant unit to just fight to the death here. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with the AI? Why are you just focusing on this one house? This house isn't going to break the back of my economy. You're getting stabbed in the side. Fight the unit attacking you, not the nonsense. Oh goodness, okay, right. So the AI sometimes leaves a lot to be desired, I'm not going to lie. Well, that was interesting to say the least. Anyway, we're going to get more of our caravels and fishing boats set up so that they can harvest more whales. I mean, we got a free caravel over here, so we might as well send that to gather up some more whales as well. Got a whale somewhere around here. Yeah, there we go, perfect. A lovely humpback whale. You see, just like in real life, humpback whales are a source of infinite gold. Isn't that lovely? Now that's a bit of life advice that you can use if you want to completely and utterly destroy this planet. Oh god, please don't. Please don't. Right, now we're going to send over some lovely fishing boats. 3 more fishing boats over here, just to really maximize the money we can make from this humpback whale. Meanwhile, we're starting to actually finish up all of the trees on our starting island. This is good because Napoleon will be doing the same right around about now. You know, it's probably a good time that we actually pick up ourselves another bonus. I'm thinking we grab ourselves the free frigate here. This is going to be just a lovely random free unit just for us, which as you can guess is going to provide us with lots of lovely resources. Well, actually, we're going to be getting this lovely free frigate, and it's going to do a great job of basically allowing us to bully the French to make sure they can't ever leave their island. To give it a little boost as well, we're going to be picking up some naval gunners here. These naval gunners are going to basically make it so that our free frigate will never stop murdering things. Now what we can do is we can actually have a few of our settlers build up a brand new just little town in the middle of nowhere here so that we can really amp up the berry bush production. And I'm pretty sure this is now it for the French. They managed 1 naval invasion onto our island here, but after that they wouldn't actually be able to land any more units. That's because they've simply run out of resources. We can check this by sending the lovely Hopewell frigate right the way on over here, over to see what the French island is up to. Oh, would you look at that? They're farming at the moment. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, just look at them farm away. Lovely peasants. Now, each peasant we murder here is technically, oh, how much food is wasted? Quite a bit. What's this? There's a French boat. Oh my goodness, perfect. Right, let's go sink that. Now, naturally, the French have come here to try and attack us. Oh no, the French boat's been sunk. They've decided to attack us with cavalry units, which are going going to focus entirely on destroying a tower which they won't ever be able to kill. And so these cavalry units are going to get murdered now. Great job, AI. Let's just do a bombardment. I don't know, that'll be great. Well, bam, that's a dead horse. Great stuff. 11 out of 10 AI. Really good stuff. Now we can actually get ourselves into the next era. I mean, what have we got here? We've got the Tycoon who can give us chests of 1,000 coin. That sounds lovely. We're going to get the Tycoon to get us into the final era of the game. Now, technically, Napoleon has caught up to us in era 3. The only issue is he hasn't actually caught up to us because he no longer has a way to actually get onto the island here, although apparently he has an explorer sat here. Oh, what's that? Is that a French privateer? Lovely. Now, French privateer versus massive English frigate. Now, I wonder who might win this combat encounter. Now, sadly, it's not the French. We also killed their explorer, which is great news for us. What we're going to do is now sail on round and destroy their port. Not that they probably have enough resources to actually sail another boat out into the sea, but just to be safe, we're going to keep our ship sat here. I can still see one active tree on their island at least, which means they still have some resources. And there we go, we're in the Industrial Age. Perfect. The Industrial Age is brilliant because it's going to allow us to use one of England's special bonuses, the factories. So we're going to actually just buy ourselves a factory to arrive, and then I'd actually like to get another factory to come soon. So I'm going to spend 350 wood and gold, gaining an extra 1,000 experience, which should be another shipment. You know, now that we're here, we might as well also get a few more fishing boats set up. And there's a lovely humpback whale over here that's still missing a couple of opportunities to be gold farmed. And look at this, all of these little ships making 0.9 gold a second each. They only cost us 70 wood, so they are very much worth it. Now with our factory wagon, we can just slap that down literally anywhere. Factories are brilliant, they just make so much money. Now with our additional experience, we're going to pick up the robber barons, which is going to allow us to build yet another factory. Now why is a factory good? Well, it's because it produces 5.5 of any resource that you like per second. Oh, and are they French attacking again? Seriously, they dropped off a naval invasion from a fishing boat. The French, they're really something. Right, send over the frigate. Now what I can do is summon a random group of militiamen to help defend this colony. Right, there you go. Go, militiamen, go! Oh, I feel sorry for the AI. They just don't really function at all. They just don't really know what to do. Oh, anyway, let's kill these hussars. These are actually some really nice cavalry units. What's that? Are you sending a fishing boat over with probably reinforcements, I guess? Yep, there we go. There come the reinforcements. Oh my god, AI, are you okay? You don't strike me as being okay at the moment. Now, let's just build ourselves another tower. Why not? I don't really know why the French just keep attacking this one location repeatedly. It's not like they're making any progress on it, but there we go. I mean, it wastes resources for them and it gets them out of my way, so I'm more than happy. Now, with our first factory, what we're going to have this first factory do is focus entirely on food production. There we go. It's going to be perfect. We're going to have this factory producing 5 food per turn. This factory here is going to focus entirely on gold production so that we have a nice base income of wood and food between these two factories. When it comes to food production, we should actually be completely fine. And the reasoning is simple. We have all of these lovely peasants over here which are going to be able to gather resources for us. I mean, just look at the amount of berry bushes lying around on this island. It's insane the amount of food we can gain over here. And don't even get me started on the amount of gold we're making from whaling. So how's the French island life going? Well, it's going great because they brought yet another boat over here. We're just gonna naturally yeet that into the ground and oh look, here come the French. Well, naturally I think it's probably time we actually improve our little villages and give them some extra hit points if we're gonna keep getting navally invaded by the French. Now, honestly, things are going great in our empire right now. There's basically nothing we can do at this point to lose the game. I suppose with my massive amount of resources lying around, I might as well actually take up to the final age. Not that the French are going to be able to even reach this age, but you know, there's a chance. In order to get ourselves there, we might as well just buy it. Oh, there we go. We can take up to the final age. What can we research here? Oh, we can get ourselves an advanced hot air balloon. Chests of 2,000 coin, a whole bunch of rockets. Now, we're going to get ourselves an advanced hot air balloon. That sounds great fun. That's going to be the pinnacle of our civilization, a single hot air balloon. And as soon as we get into this final age, oh my goodness, we have so many bonuses lying around. Right, okay. I mean, with all of these spare little home city shipments waiting for us, we might as well pick ourselves up the refrigeration so that we gather resources even faster. I mean, we could pick up the yeoman bonus if we wanted to actually do anything with, I don't know, archers, but there's absolutely no need because we just have these monitor ships here. These ships are insane. So we're just going to pick up the heavy fortifications and get ourselves 2 sets of massive artillery ships. I mean, we're only allowed to actually build 2 of them, but you know, you only really need 1 to win the game, so everything will be fine. And fantastic, we've entered into the Imperial Age, the final age, which is my personal favorite because it means we can research the final Imperial Monitors bonus here. And this is going to stack with all of our various other damage modifiers, meaning that the Imperial Monitor, which is a mortar ship, will do stupid amounts of damage. Anyway, as we have a lovely advanced hot air balloon, I'm going to be sailing him right the way over to the French so we can see what they're up to. And there we go. With that fantastic bonus, the Imperial Monitors are now improved. They're going to be godly powerful. Guess what? We've got two just about to be summoned in out of thin air. And here they come, our lovely two monitors. Now these guys, a little bit terrifying because we've improved their mortar attack so that it's up to 208 damage. Equally, they have an additional 1,800 hit points, which is definitely something that they're not meant to have. And their super duper special long ranged attack bonus now does 520 damage, which I'm pretty sure is enough to almost one-shot an entire house. Anyway, we're going to sail the hot air balloon over so that we can actually get eyes on the enemy. And as soon as we have eyes on the enemy, we'll yeet a lovely bombardment over to hopefully kill a few French peasants. Now you notice the French AI score is hardly increasing at all, and that's because they aren't able to actually gather any resources beyond probably basic gold and food, because there are no trees on the island, and the AI physically doesn't have the capacity to work out that they need to send settlers to the mainland to gain more resources. Now we sail our lovely hot air balloon over, and oh my goodness, look at all of that. It's the enemy peasants. You know what this calls for? A super duper fun bombardment. Let's go. Oh, look at that. That's an entire building destroyed. Great stuff. Right, now our lovely monitors here are just going to sit here and harass the lovely French peasants. Yeah, so we're in a perfect spot here because the French can't fight back because they've actually run out of the ability to just make anything. So whilst they, for example, had a market there, emphasis on the had because it's now gone, they can't actually make any resources because there are no longer any trees on their island. So they can't build new buildings, they can't progress any ages, and they can't build any boats. This has just kind of resulted in them only being able to generate food, which has resulted in them just spamming out their equivalent of our settlers. I mean, they only have one remaining tree on the island and it's only got 19 wood, so the AI isn't even going to take it because they see it as a last supply of resources. But they're not able to build any boats to actually sail onto the island for more resources because guess what? They don't have any wood because they spent it all on building up an army that they can't even bloody use. The AI really does work in mysterious ways. Bad news is the AI just got a shipment of wood in, meaning I know exactly where their peasants are positioned. But because they got that shipment in, instead of building up boats to get to the mainland, they're going to build a fort. This is great. However, I'm in a perfect range to destroy this fort and mean that they can't get any of that wood back. Their response is to build a house. So that's great. French AI, really good stuff. What a great fight this is. Absolutely fantastic and fair. My goodness. Right, we're going to pick up spies so that we can see everything the AI can see. There we go. This is everything the AI owns. We can see it now. It's just a whole bunch of civilians sat on a plantation here, not able to do anything. It's just so dumb. It just doesn't make sense. What I love is that the AI doesn't even fight back. Like, we can just sit here, okay? There's a whole bunch of cannons here. They're in range of us. They're not deploying the cannons. No, instead they'll just have their town center attack us. It just doesn't make sense, AI. It doesn't make sense. Because now all your cannons are dead. Why don't you fight back, AI? What is wrong with you? Why are you just building houses? The houses aren't going to help you. Houses cost so much wood. How much does it cost to build a house? Okay, a house, 135 wood. A fishing boat, 70 wood. Okay, you can almost build 2 fishing boats for every house. What are 2 fishing boats going to get you? 2 fishing boats are going to get you an ability to move peasants over here to harvest new resources. Oh my goodness. And now look at this bloody horse. It's like a Skyrim horse. It's sat on the edge of the terrain. It's a little bit broken. Anyway, we have some brand new Imperial manor wars here. We're going to have them do a lovely bombardment on some peasants because why not? It looks quite fun. I mean, who doesn't love a little bit of peasant bombardment? So yeah, it's time to just cyberbully the French AI here as they stand around and harvest food. Is there anything else we can do to screw them over? And I suppose we can increase our gather rates, but I don't think that's particularly going to change the world for us at the moment. I think the French are kind of having a little bit of an issue at the moment because they're currently just marching the AI units one by one into the range of our cannons. It's a very unique strategy to just walk all of your peasants onto this one square so that they can just stand there to be killed, but it has streamlined the process of me actually taking the settlement. Oh goodness. So apparently Napoleon now wants to give up. He's handed in his resignation. I appreciate that, Napoleon. The issue is if there's one thing that I like to do, it's to make you suffer, I'm afraid. So naturally, wabam, we've taken out their town center. Let's take out this random outpost here, which is meant to defend against us. Oh no, you've hit a ship and done 100 damage. Devastating. Can we shoot back, please? Yes, we can. So there we go. That's a French outpost dead. Let's get the next one down. There we go, that French defense tower dealt with. Right, let's just waltz on round here to really express just how how dumb the AI is. There is a unguarded treasure chest on their starting island, which is just free resources, okay? 15 experience and 15 coin, and they didn't harvest it. That's the AI in this game. Now, look, I really like RTS games developers. If you made this game, great job. I love RTS games. I like the graphical improvements. I like the fact you've added in some new civilizations, and that's fun. That's really fun. And I hope that this game does well. But if you're releasing a strategy game in 2020 and your AI is worse than a strategy game released in the 1990s, then something has gone wrong, developers. This is not AI that should be in the final product of a game. Maybe placeholder, okay, if you're trying things out. But the AI should not sit on an island and die. Oh my goodness. What do I rate this game? 5 out of 10. It's a game. Might as well just stick to the non-definitive edition unless you really, really like the look of the new civilizations. And if you are going to play this game, play it with friends. Don't play against the AI. Just save yourself the time, the faff, and the suffering. Play against a friend, okay? There's nothing to be found in the AI here. Absolutely nothing. Oh, I don't even know how this gets past testing. I just don't understand. Like, come on, there are early access games with better AI than this. Anyway, I've been the Spiffing Brit. This has been a look into whether Age of Empires 3 is a perfectly balanced game with no exploits, or if perhaps something might be wrong with the game, and I've reached the conclusion that yes, something is very wrong with the game. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching me beat the French senseless in a completely fair and balanced environment, then make sure to give this video a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, then feel free to subscribe to this lovely channel. We'd absolutely love to have you as a member of our community. Anyway, as always, a massive thank you to each and every one of our majestic patrons who make these fantastic videos all the more possible. Seriously, thank you very much. Thanks to you, I decided to buy this game because it wasn't given to me for free, and sadly I've played too much of it that I can't refund it at this point, but oh well, here we are. So thank you very much for your money, because it went straight to this lovely, valuable piece of game to just be a fine addition to my Steam library. And hey, if you sat there wondering what video you'd like to watch next, look no further than this one on screen now. If you enjoyed my very strange look at an RTS game, then you're gonna love this as well. Anyway, I'll see each and every one of you in the next one. Have an absolutely lovely day, and goodbye for now.